Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me on the Redikall series. Discovering the power of love is today's topic. And we all have this power of love. It's just that we remain disconnected to it sometimes. So today I'm going to start my talk with a real story that I heard when I was in school that really moved me somewhere. It's the story of a rural tribal woman called Hiranakani, and she lived at the foothills of the Raigad fort, which is near Pune in India. So, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in those days had seized this Raigad fort and had made it into his capital. This was, I think, in 1674 or something. And this fort was on top of a hill in the Western Ghats, and it had massive walls which were surrounding it to protect it. And if you ever look at that Raigad fort on top of that hill, you'll see that the very steep slope of the hill, which made it very safe actually to have the fort there because nobody would dare to climb up or down the hillside because of the sheer steepness or the dense forest. Now, at the foothill, there was a sprawling village, and these villagers would actually provide merchandise to all the people who lived inside the fort. So every day in the morning, they would climb up a road which would lead to the fort gates, and then they would sell the merchandise to the people who lived there, and they would come back by evening. The rules of the gate were very strict, so it would only open in the morning, and then it would close by sunset, and then it would only open the next morning. So among these villagers, there was this tribal woman called Hirakani, and she used to go and supply milk to the people living in the fort. Now, one day, she got delayed because she had a little baby and the baby was inconsolable, so she got late to go to the fort that day. And while coming back, there was this folk dance happening at the courtyard in the fort, and somewhere she got so engrossed with it that she almost forgot that it was sunset. And by the time she realized and she ran to gates, the gates had shut. So she pleaded and she begged and she cried to the soldier there and pleaded him to open the gate because she knew that her little baby was waiting for her to be breastfed. And she could imagine that the baby would be crying and hungry if the baby did not get the milk. But the soldier followed the rules and told her that it was not possible to open the gates and that she would have to be in the fort that night. And the next morning, the first thing she could do was to go back. So the night passed, and as soon as it was morning, the soldier opened the gates. And the first thing that they were expecting was to see Hirakani just rush out of that gate and go back to her village. But they just didn't seem to find her anywhere. And then they started getting worried and they started wondering what happened to her. And most of them started searching for her when one soldier called all of them to tell them that he actually saw Hirakani outside the fort gates, standing in the line along with all the villagers who had come to sell their merchandise. So the soldier was very shocked and he felt that, she had broken the rules because there's just no way that anybody could have escaped the fort because of extreme tight security. There was no way that you could get out of the fort except for the the roadway. There was no way. Even the bravest and the strongest and the most senior most soldiers also had never dared to go down that steep hillside. So he was like, she had definitely broken some rule, and so he took her to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj so that he could punish her. So she was taken to him, and that's when Shivaji Maharaj questioned her and asked her what really transpired in the night. And that's when he realized that she was an ordinary woman, but with an extraordinary ability. And she had done the absolute unexpected and the absolute unthought of deed. So the love for her baby was so amazing that somewhere when the thought of the baby crying or waiting for her or being hungry to be breastfed was so strong that she resolved to do something that no one had ever done before. And she determined to scale down that steep slope and that dangerous slope and reach her baby in the dead of the night. So, somewhere, irrespective of the harrowing journey, it was that love for the baby that gave her that immense courage to overcome all the fears. And she did something that no one would have ever dared to do. And when Shivaji heard that, he was so he was so amazed and proud of her courage that was driven by love, that not only he let her go, but he actually has made a wall along that steep slope, and he has named it as Hirakani Buruj. So if you actually even Google it, you will find the name of this Hirakani Buruj near the Raigad Fort in Pune. So this story I told you is that she, because of her love for a baby, brought about that kind of courage in her that she did not care for the pain, the danger, the discomfort, the wild animals, the dense forest, the nothing. Nothing came in that way. There was no fear. She achieved what she wanted to achieve. And that is a message that not only I got from her, but all of us need to know that we all have Hirakani in all of us. We all have that power of love that can move mountains. It can help us achieve anything we want in our life, as long as we discover or we rediscover that love within us and make love the main objective to do anything in our life. Because it's the love that gives you courage. It's the love that gives you courage to overcome all the fears you have. If you look around and you see around, you will realize that most of the courage stories come out as an expression of love. Or if you see people who made it very big sometimes in life, and you ask them what was the single most driving factor in their life towards that project, it will be the power of love for that. So, somewhere, if you can rediscover the love for your project, rediscover the love for people, rediscover the love for places, you can achieve the most unbelievable things in your life. And it will dissolve, and that courage that comes out of that love will dissolve all the fears. Love is there with all of us. It's what clouds it or masks it is the fear or your inhibiting beliefs. So all we need to do is, it's okay to recognize the fears, the beliefs, and then to go and focus and rediscover that love within you. And all of us have felt it. So if you look back and you think about, there'll be somebody whom you loved, something you loved, And when you felt that love for that thing or that person or whatever, you didn't think of the discomfort. It didn't make you tired. You didn't feel the discomfort. Nothing could deter you. The obstructions, the difficulties, nothing could deter you. So all of us have experienced it. That's what I'm talking about. To rediscover that. Because love not only gives you the courage, it gives you the passion to do something. It gives you somewhere the determination to move on and move forward. It's a love for that thing that motivates you. It not only motivates you, it motivates all people who work with you and around you somewhere. It also can move all the hearts of people you may think that they are so difficult to even change. Like they say love can move mountains. It's actually about you can change a person's heart if you feel that kind of love. Love can give you that wisdom. So love can actually, that is why love is the most powerful. And if you make love the single most driving factor in your life, you will be able to achieve the most unbelievable, unthought of things, like how Hirakani was able to do it. So can you. So be in touch with that love within. Be guided by the love within. And then you will not see any walls. You will see no obstruction. You will see no thorns. You will see no barriers, no boundaries, no negativity, no darkness, no nothing. So let's today begin with rediscovering that love for all that we try and do in our lives. So I will request you to close your eyes and just repeat with me. I are five my fears. I are five my fears. I are five my fears. I are five my inhibiting beliefs. I are five my inhibiting beliefs. I are five my inhibiting beliefs. I are five my need to rediscover love. I are five my need to rediscover love. I are five my need to rediscover love. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition 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 the love within. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition the love within. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition the love within. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition, being guided by love. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition, being guided by love. I revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition, being guided by love. So you can open your eyes now when you're comfortable.